Hello and welcome to the 2023 UCI Cycling World Championships. Well, the next 11 days are going to be quite simply jam-packed full of cycling action, not only here in Glasgow, but all across Scotland. Here's a taste of what's to come. Well, you've just witnessed some of the spectacular action from last year's UCI BMX World Cup, and there's plenty more where that came from. Now, the 2023 UCI Cycling World Championships is a pan-Scottish feast for cycling fans. We're going to see the action take place from the likes of Glentress Forest in the Borders right up to the Nevis Range up in the Highlands. The best athletes are going to go head-to-head in the fight for medals, and we're going to bring you every thrill and spill along the way right here in Glasgow and all across Scotland. But before we go any further, let's hand over to the capable hands of Ian Leggett with a word on all the venues.
Hello and welcome to Glasgow. Now, this city is going to be hosting several of the events happening at the 2023 UCI Cycling World Championships. My name's Ian, and let's go take a quick tour around some of the venues. This is the Glasgow BMX Centre, which will welcome the fastest BMX racers in the world who will be competing for Rainbow Glory. It features a massive start ramp, loads of lumps and bumps, and it makes for some exhilarating racing. This is the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome, named after one of Scotland's greatest ever cyclists. It will be hosting the para-track and track cycling events, and it hosts 4,000 fans, and there's still some tickets available. And let me tell you, you will not want to miss out, because when this place gets rocking, it is exhilarating. Now, have you ever wanted to watch gymnastics done on a bike or football played on a bike? Well, this is the place to do that, with cyclable and artistic cycling being two of the most fun sports to watch at this year's event. Now, here in this gorgeous green space that's known as Glasgow Green, the BMX Freestyle Park, Flatland and Trials events will all be taking place. And the awesome thing is you can have free access to see them all. Now, if you look behind, you can see they're constructing what will be the BMX Freestyle Park. And then right behind what these massive rocks, these are some of the obstacles that are being put together for the Trials riders to take on.
Now, if you ever don't believe how big a Trials obstacle is and how high they're jumping, just look at the size of this one.
And now we're at the finish of this video and also the finish line for the road races and paracycling team relay. This is George Square, and behind me you can see the arch, which will be the finishing gantry, where the riders will be flying down St. Vincent Street, hopefully a bunch sprint for the end of all of their races. They're still setting up behind us for what is going to be one of the biggest cycling events in history. So these have been the venues in Glasgow, but remember, the 2023 UCI Cycling Worlds will be taking place in Glasgow and across Scotland, so when the racing begins, be sure not to miss a single bit of it.
Well, this is not just for the die-hard cycling fans. As you can see, it's got something for absolutely everyone, and it's also the first time all 13 events in cycling have come together. You can tell I'm already getting pretty excited here, but to get me even more excited, I'm delighted to now welcome into the studio sports journalist Georgie Heath. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I think I could be your hype woman. I'm excited. I went full merch. I went bucket hat. You can get your hands on one of these, and I think I've got my eye on the cow one as well, so I'm fully immersed.
Oh, the
already.
Highland cow with the championship
immersed.
band.
Yeah,
This is, like, I've seen this around. I want one.
Yeah, I think I could rock it.
Now, you've of course covered so many massive global sporting events, not just cycling, but in so many disciplines of sport. How big is this?
Yeah, this is massive. I was at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham last year, and obviously that just takes over the whole city. And then we had the Commonwealth Games here in Glasgow back in 2014. But this has so many more nations involved, 130 nations. That's far more than a Commonwealth Games. So it is such a global event, and you can sort of tell. I got off the train yesterday, first thing I heard was bagpipes, and I was like, am I imagining stereotypes as I get to Scotland? But it's got that buzz, and you can feel it. You know, the sun has come out specially for us for the events, and I think it's got a real buzz around it. You can tell that people are getting involved. There's so much around the city, just encouraging people to get behind it and go and see what's happening, because as you say, there's an event for everyone all over Scotland.
And we also saw big competition back here in 2018 as well, didn't we? And you've talked about that hype and that buzz during the event, but what kind of an impact do you see it having for the region after everyone's packed up and left?
It's one of those things, isn't it? We talk about it in all sports everywhere, see it to be it, that kind of thing. You know, it sounds so stereotypical, she's saying the same thing, but it is so true. That's why we keep saying it. You know, if you don't know that there's all these different cycling disciplines, you might not get involved in something. You might be great at gymnastics on the floor, go and try it out in the indoor on a bike. Why not maybe with some, you know, helmet and some parental guidance first? I'm not just saying go do flips on a bike right now, but
sounds fun though. I mean,
I would take it on, but you might have to pay my hospital bills. But it shows there's youngsters, there's people of all ages, genders, ethnicities. That's what's so exciting, is that anyone can get involved and follow it. And you know, you might not be able to ride a bike. Not everyone can, and this could be that step for you to be like, you know what, I'm going to ditch the car, get on the bike, and get going.
Now, I know it's not officially called gymnastics on bikes, but what are you most looking forward to out of the 13 events? There's just so much happening.
I mean, I actually am really excited for everything that's happening in the indoor. I mean, the idea of basically gymnastics on a bike or football on a bike. And I was like, you know, if I'm really into the indoor ones too, maybe if it rains, then I'm watching the ones that I'm really excited about and I'm indoors. But in glorious weather like this, I mean, it could be anything. But those two are something I've really got my eye on, because we haven't seen much of it, you know, televised like this. And this is going to be the first time it's really huge for a UK city to show something like that. And I'm excited to see it in person. You're never quite sure how fast a ball is moving until you're there. So I want to see a ball hit by a bike tyre going at 90 miles an hour.
It's just incredible, isn't it? And you're going to basically be in and around all the venues over 11 days, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm really excited, because it's kind of where you get to see all of it. You know, and you get to see a bit of that, a nugget of that. You know, and I love that we always have the cycling, the paracycling, all in one event together, and it's about celebrating that, you know, cycling is for everyone and it is available for everyone. You know, we've seen the para stuff kick off already, so it's just about getting behind whatever you want to. And I'd encourage anyone in Scotland, wherever you are, in England, get yourself on a train, get up here, cycle here if you can. I mean, it might be a bit of a trek from England if you're cycling. It always feels uphill here, going north as well. But yeah, get here and go and see what you can, because it's such an incredible event.
Georgie, you've been the perfect hype woman this morning, bucket hat included. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Well, need to lie down after all this excitement. The championships officially kicks off, of course, today, but yesterday, right here in Glasgow's George Square, we were treated to a spectacular opening ceremony. Here's some of the best bits.
I'm Jess and you're watching Squiggly Bike TV. The 2023 UCI Cycling World Championships have arrived in Scotland. We're here in Glasgow's George Square. It's the opening ceremony and it's all been going on. This is the biggest cycling event ever. You are kicking things off tonight. What type of vibe can we expect? What type of performance can we expect from Katie tonight?
Well, with an event like this, which is just such a huge deal and everybody's really coming to enjoy themselves, it's a celebration, so it's a knees up, so making sure I'm playing the songs that people want to hear and then throwing in a nice Scottish cover, but keeping it up tempo so everyone can have a bit of a party.
It's hard work this, I can tell you. it's not just performers that are going to be on stage tonight. There's all things going on. We've got bikes, we've got clothes you can try on, we've got everything. This is quite hard work here in the Wahoo tent. Come down and try it out. In George Square at the official merchandise store, they have got something for everyone, and I'm so excited to go have a look. We have got Highland cows, we have got t-shirts, jumpers for all ages. Over here, we have got some hats. Now, I love the look of these. Look, people are excited to wear them already. Are you excited to wear one of these hats?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, superb.
Aren't they just? Got hoodies over here, and this place is getting so busy already. It's only been open, I think, for about 30 minutes, and it's absolutely heaving. I think there's going to be some very well kitted out people during these championships. Here with Squiggly Bike TV. David, how happy are you that, you know, this mega event is in Scotland? It's finally here, it's happening.
Here we are. We have been working very hard over the last months, over the last years, and now here we are to celebrate cycling in Glasgow and across Scotland. We have, you know, more countries than ever, 132 countries, 8,000 athletes. All of them, they wanted to be here. That will be great to celebrate cycling. That's the power of bike.
Where have you guys come from?
I went to my friend's house for a bit and then we came here.
One word on performing here today then, how is it?
Wonderful!
It's not every day in Scotland that you see a giant penny farthing on the streets, now is it? How is it being at the wheel?
It's fun, unless you want to jump on the top.
Not today, but thank you very much. It's all going on here at George Square. Behind me, this is the People's Peloton. You have got representatives from the 122 countries that are competing. And across the championships, we're going to have over 8,000 athletes. It's absolutely epic. We've got representation from anywhere. Look at all these flags. Look at all these nations all ready to compete. And the People's Peloton are ready to go. But one last thing. We are Squiggly Bike TV. Could you draw us some sort of bike, squiggly bike? 2, 1.
I didn't do a seat.
Oh my days, that's you on it. Squiggly Bike TV, Humza Youssef. What does it mean to host the biggest cycling event in the world here in Scotland?
It's so exciting, and it's a great honour for us here in Scotland, as you say, to be hosting the world's biggest cycling event and one of the biggest sporting events in the entire world. So I hope everybody that's involved, whether you're a volunteer, a spectator or indeed an athlete, that you really enjoy your time here in Scotland.
And it's all about the power of the bike, isn't it? And encouraging people to get out there and get on the bike itself. What does the power of the bike mean to you?
Do you know what it means? It means having fun. Really enjoy cycling. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to cycle for miles and miles and miles. If you want to do that, of course do that. But cycling is accessible for everybody. And you know, it's never too late. My mum, I should be careful I don't reveal her age, but over the age of 60, started cycling for the first time as well. So it's for people of all ages, and you can do it, you know, regardless of whether you want to go for just a little cycle around the block, or whether you want to go for a really long cycle. And there's no better country to do it in than Scotland.
It has been a pumping start to things here in George Square, Glasgow for the World Champs. Katie Tunstall has been entertaining the crowds, and it really is set to be an awesome 11 days of action.
Here at the Squiggly Bike Show, we want to hear from you, we want you to get involved, especially we want to share your social media posts. All you need to do is quite simply head over to your social media platform of choice and make sure you're using, quite simply, the hashtag Glasgow Scotland 2023, and we'll be sharing the best bits from you. Now, it's not just your social media we'd like you to get involved with over the next 11 days. We have a fun little game for you to play at home, and if you become the best World Championship predictor, you will be in with a chance of winning a spectacular Tissot watch, because of course here at the 2023 UCI Cycling World Championships, the whole thing is powered by Tissot. You can start playing and be in with a chance to win by heading right now over to www.myworldofcycling.com. Now, each and every day we'll be shining the spotlight on yet another one of the 13 cycling events that are taking place over the next coming 11 days. Here's some of the highlights from the track and para-track cycling. And the track cycling and para-track cycling continues today, and most importantly is where we'll see the first medals of the championships awarded to the riders. It'll all take place under the spectacular roof of the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome. We absolutely cannot wait. Now, we'll be back same time, same place tomorrow with much more action here at the 2023 UCI Cycling World Championships. We'll see you then.